like if you found the video valuable. Ellie moved into the small house on Pine Street with nothing but hope and a second-hand couch. After her messy breakup and sudden job transfer, the place seemed perfect, cheap, quiet, and freshly renovated. Well, mostly renovated. The bathroom tiles were cracked, and the drain in the bathtub looked ancient, surrounded by rust and what might have been scorch marks. But she didn't care. She just wanted peace. For the first few nights, she slept like a rock. But on the sixth night, she woke at 2:43 a.m. to a strange sound. Whispers, soft, faint, coming from the bathroom. She froze in bed, heart pounding. The sound didn't stop. She crept to the door and pressed her ear against the cool wood. It was clearer now, voices. Not one, but several. Too low to understand. She opened the door slowly. Nothing. The bathroom was empty. But the sound, it was coming from the drain. The next morning, she convinced herself it was just plumbing. Old pipes. Maybe rodents. But the whispers returned the next night. Louder. This time she stood over the tub and leaned in. The moment her face got close, the whispers stopped. Like they knew she was there. She tried pouring bleach down the drain. Nothing changed. She called a plumber. He came, snaked the drain, and shrugged. Pipes are clear. House is old. Sound carries funny. Might just be echoes from somewhere else. She didn't argue. But that night, the whispers spoke her name. Clear, cold, repetitive. Ellie, Ellie, Ellie. She stopped sleeping. The whispers started earlier each night. Midnight, then 11, then 10. She recorded the sound on her phone, but the playback was silent. One evening, she brought a friend over, Carla, a no-nonsense nurse who didn't believe in ghosts or stupid paranormal crap. They sat by the bathroom door with the lights off. At 11:14 p.m., the whispers began. Carla froze. What the hell is that? You hear it too, Ellie said. They both crept to the tub. The voices grew louder, faster, urgent, then silence. Carla turned on her flashlight and pointed it at the drain. Let's see what. Something moved. It was quick, like a hand darting out of view. Carla screamed and stumbled back. Nope. Hell no. I'm not dying in a bathtub. She left and never came back. Ellie couldn't leave. Rent was locked in. Her job was nearby. And honestly, some twisted part of her needed to know. One night, she took a kitchen knife and unscrewed the metal drain cover. Below was pitch black, but the whispers were deafening now, hundreds of overlapping voices, layered in agony. She leaned closer. A wind rose from the drain, ice cold, smelling of soil and rot. And then she heard it. Help us. For the first time, she understood. She grabbed a flashlight, dropped to her knees, and aimed the beam down the drain. It barely lit the curved interior. And yet, she saw them. Eyes. Dozens. Glowing faintly. Watching her. One blinked. She screamed, slammed the drain cover back on, and ran to her bedroom. That night, she dreamed of a girl in the bathtub, screaming, her mouth forced open by invisible hands as dark water poured in. The girl choked, writhed, and disappeared into the drain. The next day, Ellie went to City Hall. She dug through old housing records. Her house had been built over a property that had burned down in 1974. The fire started in the bathroom. The girl's name was Lucille Hartman, age 14. She died in the tub. Lucille's father, a known cultist, had sealed something under the house. No bodies were recovered, just bones, and a drain pipe that led nowhere. That night, Ellie removed the drain cover again. The whispers returned, pleading now. Set us free, before she wakes. Who? Ellie whispered. The voices fell silent, and then, one final whisper, breathless and shaking. She remembers you. Ellie dropped the flashlight, because the last voice wasn't strange. It was her mother's. She hadn't spoken to her mother in years. Not since her mom joined a fringe group in the 90s and tried to cleanse Ellie's soul with boiling water. Her mother died in a sanitarium 3 years ago. Or so she thought. The following day, she called in sick and rented a drain camera, those long, flexible devices plumbers use to inspect pipe interiors. At midnight, she lowered the camera into the drain and watched the monitor. The feed was static at first. Then dark stone walls appeared. Then, bones. Piled, layered, burned, twisted. And at the center of it all, a woman, standing, smiling, her eyes milky white. Welcome back, Ellie, she said, staring straight into the camera. Then the monitor went black. The camera cable was pulled into the drain, violently. Ellie screamed and tried to reel it back, but it snapped. Something below pulled hard. like it didn't want her looking anymore. She backed out of the bathroom, locked the door, and moved out the next morning. A month later, the house sold to a new couple. The listing made no mention of the strange noises. But if you pass by 109 Pine Street at night, sometimes you'll hear whispers from the bathroom window. And sometimes, a pale woman in white stares down from the second floor, watching the street below, waiting for someone to listen again.